Let me tell you a story. It's about a boy named Ozigi who lives in a really cool town called Lokoja, right where two huge rivers meet. And one day, after a big rain, he had a very big question about a very big and very wet problem. Just imagine it for a second. You are Ozigi. You are only 11 years old. And after a heavy downpour, your whole street is flooded again. You see the plastic balls just floating by like little boats and forget about playing football. Then you hear the grown-ups talking about this amazing thing called AI, the super smart technology from the future. And you just look at all the moody water and think, seriously, what good is it? And that was Ozigi's question, a really powerful one born right out of his frustration. Now, a question that's powerful doesn't just hang in the air and disappear. No way. It traveled like a signal, almost like a call for help. And just as Ozigi was thinking it, a warm glow, a mix of sunset, orange, and electric blue kind of swept across the street. And out of that light, two figures appeared, Spark Shola and Future Silas. And you know what? They weren't there by accident. They were drawn there by the power of Ozigi's questions. So, who are these two? Well, what's really cool is how they work together. Spark Shola is all about energy and creativity. He is the one who really connects with people, you know, to understand the real problem. And then you have Future Silas. He is a tech genius. He talks all those great ideas and actually builds the solution. So one brings the heart and the other brings the brain. Together, they are a perfect problem solving team. Okay, so you have these two problem solvers from the future, right? You might expect them to pull out shiny gadgets and supercomputer. But you know what they did first? They didn't touch any technology. They started by just listening, then walked down the flooded street with Ozigi and his friends, Zainab and David, and just heard their stories. And this right here is the first big idea. Spark Shola explained that the most important part of any new technology isn't the computer code or the wires, it's understanding people. I mean, Ozigi and his friends, they already knew everything. They knew which houses always flooded the fastest. They knew which drains always got clogged with dirt. They knew exactly where the water came from, and that local knowledge, it was pure gold. Spark Shola called these special knowledge data sources. Now, I know that sound a little complicated, but think of it this way. If the AI is a detective trying to solve the mystery of why does our street flood, then these data sources are just the clues it needs to look for. Simple as that. So, what were the big clues for the flood in Lokoja? Well, the kids figured them out super fast. Clue number one: how hard is the raining falling? You know, is it a drizzle or a downpour? That's rainfall intensity. Clue number two: is the big drain on the street blocked? And clue number three: is that huge river nearby getting too high? These three clues were everything the AI needed to know to see the danger coming. All right, but just having clues isn't quite enough, is it? A detective needs to know what to do with them. And this is where Future Silence stepped in. He explained that AI isn't some kind of magic, it's just really good at following instructions. So, as he called them rules, he made it super simple using an idea called if then. It's just like telling a watchman what to do. He said, think like this: if you see heavy rain, then you should check the drain. And if the drain is filling up really fast, then you must send out a warning. See, simple, clear instruction. No guessing, just rules. Now, this next part is so important. How should the warning be sent? Should it be a fancy new app, a super loud siren? Nope. The kids decided it should be a simple WhatsApp message. And why? Because that's what everyone in their community already uses every single day. They already understand it. Future Silas was so impressed. He told them that the best technology is always designed for the people who are actually going to use it. You always have to put people first. And with that, it was time. Future Silas hooked up the sensors. Spark Shola launched a small drone to keep an eye on things from above, and Ozigi and his friends all gathered around, totally holding their breath. They had just designed a mini version, a prototype of their very own AI Floodwatch. For a moment, everything was quiet. You could feel the excitement. The rain sensor was on. The little drone was zipping along the drain, its camera scanning for any blockages, especially near that big mango tree they talked about. Everyone was just staring at Ozigi's phone, waiting. And then, ping, a message popped up on the screen. It was clear, it was simple, and it told them exactly what the problem was and exactly where to find it. The AI watchman had sent its very first alert. It works! Ozigi's face just lit up. He and his friends started cheering and jumping up and down. It wasn't just some cool gadget, it was their idea. They had used what they knew about their own street to build something that could actually help their families, their neighbors, everyone. They weren't just kids anymore. They were designers. They were problem solvers. So, as the evening light started to fade, Spark Shola and Future Silas got ready to leave. But before they disappeared, they shared the most important lesson of the whole day. Future Silas explained that the technology itself, the sensors, the drone, all of it was kind of useless on its own. The AI only become smart because it was combined with the children's wisdom, with their knowledge of the rain and the drains and the river. The AI didn't replace them. It just made their knowledge louder and faster, like a megaphone, amplifying it so everyone could hear. And that's when Ozigi had his big aha moment. He looked at the alert on his phone, then he looked at his street, and then he looked at his friends. He finally got it. AI wasn't some far away thing for big fancy companies. It was a tool that could be used by anyone, even kids, to solve the real problems happening right in their own neighborhood. So, what did Spark, Shola, and Future Silas really leave behind? Well, it's like they left a toolkit for thinking. They taught Ozigi that AI can solve real everyday problems, not just crazy future stuff. That you always have to start by listening to people, that you need to find your clues, your data sources, that you can build amazing things with simple if then instructions, and maybe most important of all, always use tools that people already know and love. Ozigi found a problem right there on his street and he became a designer. So now it's your turn. I want you to look around. Look at your home, at your school, in your community. What problem do you see? What local knowledge, what special wisdom do you have that could help solve it?